as the baking is underway, now we're going to get some tips on how to handle the turkey. This may be one area that people are confused on and really don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you know, I've had a lot of dry turkey in my life. Not the ones that I've cooked, of course, but the,
certainly not.
No, there are some basic things you can do that can decrease the amount of dryness in a turkey. What I'm going to do today is show you a few tips. First of all, you want to make sure that when you unpack your bird that you wash it and clean it and dry it very well. Turkey is just white protein, and it gets dry, and everybody has tasted that white, dry taste. So you want to take every opportunity to season the inside of this bird. So I'm putting salt and pepper inside the cavity of this bird. I've removed all the neck and the giblets and all that kind of stuff. I'm also going to add some cloves of garlic, some celery, and some quartered onions inside there, okay? And just let that get working. You can throw a couple of bay leaves in there. Anything to start adding flavor from the inside out on that turkey would be fantastic. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick here. One thing you can do is get some fat or some flavoring under this skin. And the way you do that, you just run your hand up the, what we're doing is creating a pocket between the skin and the flesh. And we're gonna add some butter in there. So I'm gonna go, look how far back I'm going here. I'm getting all the way back. I'm creating a pocket there.
This is looking more like a health scene report.
To get a pocket there, even on the side, if you can see this on the side of the turkey, I'm really creating a space in there. Okay, do it on both sides. The flavoring that I'm using here is I've got about 1/4 pound of butter, got some fresh herbs, some chopped scallions, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of rosemary, and I'm squeezing a little bit of lemon juice in here. Okay, and I'm just going to take those seeds out. I'm going to go ahead and mix this together a little bit. Okay, now you can use any kind of herbs you like. I have a little basil in here, like I said, green onion and some rosemary. And we're also going to add a little salt and pepper in there because, again, we want to season that meat while we have this opportunity before it's cooked. Now, if you watch here, I'm just going to take this butter and put it under the skin wherever I can. Go as far back as I can. Get all over this bird, and that will baste the turkey while it's cooking. So this will help your dryness problem. It's just one little thing will help. We're going to give you some other tips on how to cook it so you don't dry it out also. Now, if you can see, I've got a lot of good butter on the inside right next to the meat that's going to give it the most amount of flavor. Now I'm going to close this back up. Now there's a lot of the turkeys nowadays come with a little opening there that you can put the legs back in, so you don't want the legs going everywhere. So we're just going to tuck that back in just like that. So the legs stay close to the body. It's mainly for presentation. Okay. Also, you can put this bird on a rack so that the bird is not sitting in its own juices. Then it starts to steam. You want this to roast. And one way to do that, if you don't have a rack, you can just tuck these wings back just behind the bird. See how I'm tucking that wing back? Just like that, and tucking that in just like that. Now, also what I want to do is go ahead and season the outside. Okay, we have an opportunity to season again. Nice salt and pepper all over. Now, because I'm doing a Cajun turkey, I might put a little cayenne pepper on there, but for right now, I'm just going to use salt and pepper. But I mean, whatever you like. You have to be careful with that cayenne, though. It can get very hot. Now, Mike, the last thing that I'm going to do to prepare this bird is put a little oil on the outside. Okay? Now, what that will do, remember, most of this fat drains off. The butter will drain out, which also makes this pan will make an excellent sauce later. And this oil will roll off, and the fat from the turkey will come off. And I'm just going to rub that, and what that does, that allows for even browning on the outside of the turkey. In other words, we're going to throw this in a very hot oven. My oven right now is preheating about 450 degrees.
Right.
This is called a searing method. Okay, what we want to do, we want to cook at very high heat at first, and then lower the temperature and let it cook for a long period of time. So I'm putting this oil on the outside of the bird so it helps it brown very quickly, gets a nice color that we want, and then once it's colored properly, we can just put it in a slow oven and cook it. Okay, so we're ready to pop this into the oven, Mike. Now, I did spray this pan also with a little oil so things don't stick to it. Okay, so we're going to sear this for about 15 or 20 minutes till it's nice and golden brown in a very, very hot oven. And then we're going to turn that down to about 325 degrees and cook that for the remaining time, which is about 2.5 hours, something like that. Okay, right. You should have a nice, tender, well-flavored Thanksgiving turkey. Now, if you stop the browning process right now, you'd have a beautiful turkey for Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna stop. You can see the herbs cooking under, the butter's melting under there. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the browning process now by putting a piece of foil over the breast and turning the oven down to 325 and letting this cook for about 2.5 to 2 3/4 more hours. Okay, I'm just folding a piece of foil to fit over that turkey breast. Now be very careful when you're working in the oven. Probably it's best just go ahead and pull the turkey out and cover it. See how I'm just going to put that right over the breast, just like that. Just like that. Now that won't brown anymore. And I might have to come back and do the legs a little bit later, but I'm going to do that just like that and lower the temperature of the oven to 325 and let that cook for about 2 3/4 hours. All right, Mike, our turkey should be ready. It is nice and golden brown. Should be about 165 degrees internal temperature.
All right, that's the epitome of what you want your turkey to look like when you bring it out as well.
Well, it's got, we took care of it on the inside. We make sure that it was seasoned on the inside, well basted with some fat on the inside with that flavored butter that we use with herbs. So not only does it look good because we seared it properly, but it should taste fantastic. The meat will have been seasoned with that lemon juice, the herbs, salt and pepper, and the cavity had all those aromatic vegetables like onions and garlic. You can put parsley stems in there, bay leaves. We also had salt and pepper in there, so it's seasoning from the inside out.
And the important thing to do, as you mentioned, is to check the temperature, make sure it's at 165.
Right.
And if you're needing help in preparing your turkey, you're going to see a lot of advice out there, but none that are specially driven, or specialty driven, if you will, like we saw with the preparation today with the turkey. You can access this recipe on our website at kvtx.com. Just click on to Christopher's Kitchen. We'll bring you some other great holiday cooking tips in general in future installments of Christopher's Kitchen. Christopher, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, for Christopher Lampo, I'm Mike Wright.